Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, could a top WWE departure be imminent? A fan invades the ring during AEW Collision and promptly gets kicked out. There's been a bit of an executive shakeup in WWE, and we've got some King and Queen of the Ring results from this weekend's house shows. I'm Andy from What Culture. This is Big Mike. And this is the news. Stepping in for the great Andrew Pollard. He's off today. Wish him... he's on holiday. Why are you wishing him well? Just say, hey, Andrew Pollard, have a nice holiday. Jump on Twitter and do that. Cultured Left Peg. He'll appreciate it. But we're going to sit here right now and we're going to talk about a top WWE star whose contract expires in the next 3 weeks. That person is Becky Lynch, according to Fightful Select. Now, this outlet had previously reported that Becky's contract was due to expire in June, so if it's within 3 weeks, yeah, that still adds up. So a bunch has been made of her future, obviously. Seth Rollins, her husband, has re-signed with WWE on a big money, long-term deal. When that happened, I think a lot of people, myself included, immediately thought, hey, Becky's going to do the same. Why would you stop working with your partner unless you don't like working with your partner? And there's no indication that that's the case with these two, especially going by the photograph that Becky put in her book after WrestleMania 35. So there's plenty to pick apart here, but we'll get through the facts, or as they're reported in this write-up. First of all, Becky's not re-signed yet. She is still on her previous deal, which will expire sometime in the next 3 weeks. There have been ongoing conversations about an extension, but as things stand, the contract is due to expire. There'll probably be more on this situation as it develops, given that Becky is the Women's World Champion, and she will be defending that belt against Liv Morgan at King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia at the end of the month. Analysis, let's do some of that. I think that the likeliest scenario here is that Becky re-signs, or she has already re-signed and it just hasn't gotten out yet. There's every chance that the people are just like, I don't know, misdirecting all over the place. But you never know with these things. Maybe she does take a little time away. Who knows? But as she is the Women's World Champion, I would find that quite doubtful. I am very dubious, and Fightful aren't reporting this, obviously, but I find it hard to see a future, even if it is only 3 weeks away, where Becky Lynch goes, yeah, I'm out of here. See you later. I don't think that's going to happen. I think she will re-sign if she hasn't already, and I think that WWE will be able to use that as a nice little PR boost. We know the PR games the wrestling promotions play. WWE are really good at it. In a couple of weeks, the story that Becky has re-signed with WWE will get out there. Either they will announce it or it'll come out through a source, a media outlet, and it'll be like, hey, one of our big names is staying put. They're not going to that pesky AEW over there. That's their mindset. That's how they're winning the perception war in pro wrestling at the moment, regardless of what you might think of the product. So for me, I love it when wrestlers jump ship. I think it's cool when people jump around and go to a new place and try something different. I mean, not in every single case. There are some wrestlers I never want to see jump anywhere or wrestle again right back. But in some cases where wrestlers like Becky, who've been in the same place for like 10 years, yeah, it's cool to see them in a new environment. However, at the same time, like we said, her husband works there. She's been very successful there. She's one of the aces of the company, certainly of her division. And although she's never really been shy of criticizing WWE's presentation of women's wrestlers and the division as a whole, she's never come off like she's shooting or anything like that. It's just some constructive criticism that she sometimes expresses through the media. Clearly, she feels comfortable enough in her position to be able to do that. So she's in a really solid position in WWE. I can't see her going anywhere. We'll talk about the renewal if and when it comes up. But as of right now, she is, according to the report, technically working on expiring contract that will expire shortly after she faces Liv Morgan at King and Queen of the Ring. I'd imagine she's going to drop that belt there. I think that they did the whole Battle Royal a few weeks ago so that Liv could get more angry on her revenge tour and then eventually beat Becky in a singles match, because despite what some people with avatars of wrestlers will tell you online, beating someone in a singles match means a little bit more than winning a stupid Battle Royal. So I think putting the belt on the established star so that Liv Morgan could then beat the established star will mean a lot more than if Liv won that Battle Royal a few weeks ago. But hey, let me know what you think in the comment section below. What do you think, Big Mike? Exactly. We're going to move on to our next story. We're going to talk about a fan invading the ring. During last night's AEW Collision tapings, the footage is doing the rounds. You can find it. I found it on Reddit. I assume it's on Twitter. Taking a little break from that program, but I assume it's on there. It shouldn't be too hard to find, really. But this happened after Daniel Garcia had wrestled Kevin Matthews. Daniel Garcia won, of course, and he's in the ring afterwards when a fan tries to get up in there. It doesn't go well for this fan. Garcia gets out of there, which is the smart thing to do. You don't know who's coming in the ring. You don't know what they're capable of. Just get out of there. Get out of there. Don't be around that. But the fan is like subdued immediately. It's so quick. They appear to like trip over, or maybe they're tripped by the referee. It's quite hard to tell from the angle. But yeah, they go down. They're set upon by security, and it kind of becomes quite funny because people are just chanting, "You effed up," at this person while they're taken away, which is as it should be. People making light of it. Fair play. There is some other footage as well that, again, I saw on Reddit of the fan being escorted out of the building. One security guard has him in like a face lock. And another one is helping the other security guard just get rid of him. Doesn't look like he's putting up much of a struggle in this situation, and it looks like the security aren't having much trouble either. So while you obviously never want a fan jumping in the ring for no reason, or for whatever reason is in their head, it's good to see that the security team dealt with it so swiftly and so quickly as well. And also, like, it looked like they were, obviously you don't know what's going off when the camera stopped rolling, but like the security weren't taking any liberties. They just subdued him, the face lock, carrying him away. They just diffused the situation. They took care of it. They did a good professional job from what we saw. Anyway, so it reminds me of a few years ago when that other fan tried to come in the ring and did Chris Jericho punch him in the face? I can't remember, but he certainly lashed out at him. That was stupid as well. With these situations, you always get the old geezers who look at them and go, but wrestling was so much more dangerous back in the day. Johnny Bumscratch from the Ottawa territory got stabbed once. They were throwing rocks at his brain, all of this stuff. And to me, I would say, no, that's idiotic. If you're a fan in the crowd, your job at the show is to go there, respond to what you're seeing, get up and out your seat to chant and jump up and cheer and all that stuff, get your popcorn, whatever, have a few drinks, however you enjoy yourself. Your job isn't to jump in the ring and potentially threaten the wrestlers. Like I said earlier, you don't know who is jumping in the ring. You don't know who these people are. You don't know what they're capable of. You don't know what their intentions are. So if you're a wrestler, the smartest thing you can do is get the heck out of there. And if you're a security team member, you have to be on your toes, you have to be on your guard, and you have to defuse the situation. In an ideal world, this person wouldn't have been able to hop the barrier and get in the ring, but how do you enforce that? That's really difficult unless you're putting up blooming fences around the place, making it some kind of pig pen or whatever. I don't know. Either way, the situation was handled. You don't like to see it happen, but it was dealt with, and hope that the person you shouldn't be coming to wrestling shows if you're going to do stuff like this. So, period of reflection ahead, bare minimum, I think, for this person here. I would suggest some kind of ban would be appropriate as well. Right, Mike? Exactly. Let's move on to our next question. No, it's not a question, it's a story. What a day I'm having here. Bit of an executive shakeup in WWE. A couple of big cheeses behind the scenes have left the company. They are called Paul Levesque and Nick Khan. They're actually called Michael Levin and Steve Rubin. So Levin and Rubin are both gone from WWE. News that Levin had left came from PW Insider, who reported that this happened over the past couple of days, and it was a consequence of the assimilation of the UFC and WWE as TKO Group under the ownership of Endeavor, who took WWE over. That deal was closed in September, but it shows that even though that was almost a year ago now, they are still assembling the hierarchy and the structure in the way that they want, in the way that, they think is going to benefit their business, I guess. So Mr. Levin had been with WWE since 2016, so quite a while. He was the company's vice president of international events and the general manager of emerging markets. He'd been at Backlash France this past week, and now he's gone from the company. He worked out of the London office. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. Steve Rubin, meanwhile, Fightful reported this one. He had been with WWE since 26 years. That's a long shift. I was 10 years old when this man started. Good grief. He started out as a production assistant, worked his way up the company, and at the time he was let go, he was the senior director of TV event relations, now gone from WWE. This is a cold reality of takeovers, mergers, acquisitions, all of that stuff. When one company buys another, the new owners always look to align things with their business strategy and other silly businessy terms. They move a few pieces around. They synergize roles, which is often just a flashy, softer word for job losses and cuts. And, you know, that assimilation, at least when it comes to Michael leaving, appears to be part of his, you know, job loss, the reason he is gone. So those moves are still being made. Hundreds of people have lost their jobs in WWE since this takeover. That was reported way ahead of time that this would be happening, and it's a reality of these situations in the business world. It's cold, it sucks for the humans, but it's just what happens in these things, and you just hope that people who've lost their jobs move on to bigger and better things employment-wise, or maybe they just retire with loads of money. I don't know. Live your life and live it well. But yeah, there we go. Bit of an executive shakeup in WWE. And our final story, bit lighter, bit kayfabe nonsense here for you. Some King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring advancements, developments, match results from the weekend. Obviously, WWE have, initially it looked like they were going to have like 8 matches on TV every Raw and SmackDown, at least on Raw. They dialed back on that. They threw a couple of King and Queen of the Ring matches onto this weekend's house shows. And we have some results from yesterday, which was in Chattanooga, Tennessee, on the SmackDown side of things. We have LA Knight. You're supposed to say the thing, you bloody idiot. Can't get the co-host these days. LA Knight, yeah. Thanks, Mike. Defeated Santos Escobar. He advances in King of the Ring. And Tiffany Stratton defeats Michin to advance in Queen of the Ring. As a result of this, LA Knight, yeah, will now face Tama Tonga in the next round. And we'll also have Tiffany Stratton versus Bianca Belair in Queen of the Ring, which that sounds awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. On the Raw side, we have 2 matches taking place at today's house show in Macon. I'm sorry, residents of that town, Georgia, to determine the quarterfinals. Kofi Kingston versus Rey Mysterio. They will fight, and then the winner will face Gunther. And we also have Shayna Baszler versus Zelina Vega, the winner of which will face Io Sky. So obviously the tournaments elapse on WWE's next Blood Money show in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, King and Queen of the Ring, on the 25th of May at the Jeddah Superdome, Hulk Hogan's favorite. And then, so we got a couple more weeks of TV to get through before then. A couple more rounds, all of that. It's been a fun tournament so far. I think the Raw show on Monday in particular was really great. I loved Sheamus and Gunther, loved Ilya Dragunov and Ricochet. And then on SmackDown, you had some fun developments as well. And Nia Jax versus Naomi was a really good match. I would love to see Candice LeRae wrestle for longer than 2 minutes. That would be nice. But hey, look, I'm not the one who books the shows. I guess it's not my decision to make. But she's really talented. Why is she just getting jobbed out? Kind of sucks. Whatever. Let's not get moany too much on a Sunday morning. The tournament's been fun so far. Certainly being treated with a bit more severity, a bit more reverence by old big nose Paul Levesque himself. I mean, look, I've got a giant nose too. I can't really criticize. I just wanted to insult someone because I'm an asshole. Jeez, what a way to sign off on this one. But yeah, look, thank you for joining me for this video here. Andrew Pollard, he'll be back next Sunday. I'm taking a week off, taking a little break. But in the interim, you can check out this video here. It's really good. I don't know what it is. The algorithm is going to serve up and determine that it's best for you, the viewer. So if it's not best for you, phone up Big Johnny YouTube and go, hello, Johnny. This is not best for me. I would like another one. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. Bye. See you in a week. Yes.